Hi kids, it's Miss Batten from Science Lab. Today we're going to talk about sunspots. As you know, the sun is a star, just like the stars we see at night. The sun is about 865,000 miles in diameter. That means across. That's 10 times as big as Jupiter, the biggest planet. That's huge. The sun is also extremely hot. Inside, the sun is 29 million degrees. Woo! On the surface, it's a lot cooler, but not cool like we think of cool. On the surface, the sun is 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But sunspots are areas that are a lot cooler. Sunspot areas are only 6,300 degrees Fahrenheit compared to the surface around them at 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This means the sunspots look dark. They're not as bright as the rest of the surface of the sun. Sunspots are caused by magnetic forces. Remember, we studied magnets in Science Lab. NASA has come up with a plan to make sunspot cookies. So that's what we're going to do today. Stay tuned. Okay, we are going to make sunspot cookies. To do this, you need some sugar cookies. You can either make them or you can buy them. You will need some chocolate chips. If you don't have chocolate chips, you could use raisins. You will need some powdered sugar, pure cane powdered sugar, like icing sugar. You will need some food coloring, yellow food coloring or orange food coloring to make your sun color. If you don't have food coloring at home, you might have some Kool-Aid or some drink mix that's yellow. You could use that instead. You need some milk, or if you don't have milk, you can use water. Also, if you don't have milk and you want to add some flavor, you could use lemon juice instead of water. And optionally, you can get some sprinkles, some orange sprinkles to make your sun shine just a little brighter. So, in order to get started, we're going to measure out our ingredients. First, we have the powdered sugar. We're going to measure 1 cup of powdered sugar. That's a 1/2 cup. And this is 1/2 cup. So if we have 1/2 plus 1/2, that equals 2 halves, which equals a whole, or 1 cup. So again, 1/2 cup plus another 1/2 cup equals 2 halves, which is equal to 1. Next, we're going to take our milk. We're going to put in a little bit of milk. I'm going to start with 1 tablespoon of milk. Don't put too much liquid in or it will get too soupy. We're going to put our tablespoon of milk in and we're going to stir. Stir it all around. It's going to take a little while. Keep stirring. Don't worry if it still has a lot of powder in it. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is put in my yellow food coloring. So I'm going to make it look nice and bright like the sun. It looks like it's a little bit dry, so I'm going to put in a little bit more food coloring, milk. But just about a half a tablespoon, not very much. I still don't want it to get too wet. Just a little bit. Okay, it's maybe just a teeny bit more. Another half a tablespoon. And see if I can get all that dry stuff off the bottom there. Okay, now it's starting to look more liquidy and the color is coming together. Make sure you get it all stirred up really nice and good. Keep stirring until all the pieces are together. Okay, so now that I stirred it all up, you see it's kind of a little bit soupy. So, but you don't want it to be too soupy. And that is our yellow color for our suns. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our plate. And we're gonna put some cookies on the plate. Let's put 3 cookies on the plate. And we're going to make our suns. First, we're going to put some icing on to make them yellow. Put a little bit of icing on each cookie. Then you can spread it around to make it look nice and yellow, just like the sun. Make sure and spread it all the way to the edges. Let's put a little more on, and there we go. Now we have 3 cookies that are nice and yellow like the sun. Again, if you have some sprinkles or some other things you want to put on top, you can do that. If not, that's perfectly fine. So we'll put some sprinkles on this one, but we'll leave the other 2 plain. It's up to you and whatever you have in your pantry. The next thing, the final touch, is to put on our SunSpots. These are the chocolate chips. So we're just going to put on the SunSpots here and there on our sun. And it'll be just like the sunspots on the real sun in the sky. And there we go. SunSpot cookies right there. Just like sunspots on the sun in the sky. You can eat them right away, or you can put them in the refrigerator so the icing can harden up just a little bit. And then enjoy with your family. I hope you enjoyed making the SunSpot cookies. For more information, you can go to NASA at spaceplace.nasa.gov/SunSpot cookies. I will put the link in Google Classroom, Science Lab, and also the link to NASA for Kids, where you can find lots of fun activities to learn more about the sun. Enjoy!